Ladies and gentlemen, let us talk about Intellij IDEA 2026.1. It's here, it's cool, and let me just show one feature from the list. So if you have a PowerShell terminal, then there now Intellij supports code completion for PowerShell and for some of the commands that we have here, like Docker. So it means that if I don't remember how to build a Docker image, then I can see here, I can just run the Docker build, or yes, there's a help. Let us just see. Yeah, okay. So we can see Docker. Of course, if I just write Docker, then I get the help menu right here. Let's say that I forgot some Git commands, then I can press. Maybe I know that there's something with Git status. Then I can press Control Space. Control Space, and then I can see here, there's something, there's a command named git status. Then I can run that, and then I can see what I have not committed or staged yet in my Git repository. The same with Gradle, Control Space, then I get all of this. It also works with Bash, but not with Git Bash as I'm using right here. So if you go to, this is my Git Bash. And let me see, it's not the one. Let me just choose right here, Git Bash. If I choose Gradle and then Control Space, and then nothing happens, right? Nothing works right there. But it's a quite cool feature, so that you can get code completion in the terminal if you use PowerShell. So let's go through the other changes. So there's support for Java 26, quite important, because now now latest and greatest is Java 26, and there's also support for Kotlin 2.3.20. And we got some AI improvements. So we have some more support. I will show you a bit more about this in just a minute right here. So we have some more AI support. They have their own built-in coding agent named Juni right now. I've installed it right here. I'll make a separate video on Juni, but it's quite easy to install. If you want to install, you just write install Juni, shift twice, and then install, or then just write Juni like this. I already have it. If you don't have it, then it will propose install Juni, and then you just install that plugin, and then you're happy to go. It is there's a cost associated with it, but there's a free trial period that you can try out. But that was So there are improvements for Kotlin development with GPA, and there's also a feature that I could not make work, and I will just show that in just a minute. Yes, support for the newest Kotlin. That's good. Scala, some more. Now we have Scala docs, and I don't know how many people are using Scala anymore after Kotlin came. And then we have, this is a feature that I could not make work yet. I think it's because it's not done yet, because we can see here that it says that it's coming in a following version right here. There's the endpoint security inlays and the actual property values, 2026.1.x. So this is runtime insight for Spring applications. That means that if you run your application in debug mode, then you could just go to the code, and then you can actually see the injected bean. And it actually says right here that this should actually work right now. But if I start the debugger, then when I go to one of my controllers, then I should be able to see what's inside this Planet Parquet service that I have right here. Then I should be able to inspect all of the properties. It's not possible for me, at least right now. So it could also be that I'm doing something wrong, but I actually think that it will just come in a minor update that we will get very soon. I try to run the debug, but it does not work. But it's quite cool, the feature right here, and you can see here how it's supposed to work. So it's supposed to work like this: that you press the debug button, and then you go to your controller, and then you should be able to see and inspect the injected value. So it just shortens the debug time. There is something that I made work. That is, if you use the actuator in Spring Boot, it's kind of the same, but not totally. But if you go to your build.gradle file right here, then you can add actuator. Where do I have that? It's right here. So if you add actuator to your dependencies, then you press debug, then you can go to beans in your debug view right here, and then you can press your application, and then you can just search for instance, what was it? That was the Planet controller. So if I search for Planet controller like this, then I can see my Planet controller right here. and then I get a hierarchy diagram right here. Then I can click between them and actually see what's going on. That's quite, yeah, it's quite cool. What else can I see right here? I can see all the stuff that Actuator provides. So it's a quite cool diagram that we have right here. And also this also means that if you have multiple implementations of something, then you can also see which one was injected into your Planet controller. So it gives a really easy overview. And then it can also it can help you debug your application if suddenly if you're not injecting what you actually think you're injecting. The security feature is very, very useful, so I'm looking forward to that, because then we can actually see which roles are needed to access your REST API, for instance. But I'll talk about that when we get that feature delivered. So what else do we have right here? Command completion, that's what I just showed you. We have command completion for Gradle and for Docker, and yeah, a lot of stuff. Also Git. In terminal completion, yes. Thank you very much for that. That was actually quite cool. And some AI integrations right there. Let me just see right here. I think that is actually it with the cool stuff. Yeah, more support for TypeScript and JavaScript. And yeah, so that is actually, those are the main features right here. If you have not tried the built-in AI part, which that is not Uni, that's just the AI, you can actually mark a file like this, the content right here. Then you can right click, and then you can say AI actions up here on top, and then you can say explain code. So this has nothing to do with Uni. Uni is the AI agent that will actually do some coding for you. That's like Codex Cli or Claude Code. Then now Intellij has their own, JetBrains has their own built-in code agent, and that is named Juni. But this is just regular AI, and you can actually choose the model. Per default, it's GPT 4.5.4 medium, and it looks like it's free if you take the medium or the mini. Or at least the mini is, but you can also handle your models. You can actually choose between different models. If we press right, here we have the models, and here we have the agent. And I have linked up my account with Codex Cli or Codex. So here I can choose my agent also. I just wanted to. There was a. Actually, I saw there was a place where I could choose the models, the model manager, AI assistant. Yeah, manage subscription. Yeah, okay, that's if we should have another subscription. That was not the one I was thinking about. It was the model. The model inspector. That was the one I was looking for. Was actually right here. I was looking for that one. But nevertheless, you can actually see it works right here. So it explains the code, and it also says what is good, and if there are any errors or something that could be better, then it also explains that. There's also some other. Let me just check right here. I suggest refactoring. Boom. Right documentation. That's really good. Then you get some generic documentation. It's if someone really wants documentation and you don't think that it makes sense, then you could actually run that. You can also add attachments. But I'll make another video on how to use the AI, because I was actually last time I was in here, I actually had an option in the bottom where I could actually go and set up my models, and I could also connect to. Maybe here it is. I could also connect to Codex. So let me just, isn't that AI section? I need to find it first. Okay, I'll find it later. But if you haven't tried out that was, I think. Let me just check again. AI assistant in the bottom right there. Assistant. Here we have something that is just checked right here. No. I need to find it in one of the menus somewhere. So yeah. Okay. I'll show that in another video. But what you can do, you can actually mark code, and you can use AI to do stuff. AI actions, find problems, and just open up a new chat, and then it will actually add the code automatically for you. So you can also generate code. That's because I installed Juni right here. Juni is right here. Here I can tell Juni to, for instance, create a DTO matching my spaceship entity. And of course, whenever you're doing something with AI agents, you should always have a agents.md file into the root of your project, where you actually tell it that, for instance, right now I would actually recommend a record. Okay, it actually uses a record, so that's fine. I'm happy. Let's just find it. Right here. Here we have the DTO. It's already created. It used the same fields that I had in my entity. So yeah, Juni is quite cool, but of course there's an expense with it. If you already have a Codex or Claude subscription, then of course you can still use those. I have a link to it in my top right here, so I can just go to Codex Intellij right here. Maybe I have it already actually. Yeah, so this is actually Codex Intellij. Then I can just write whatever I want to. Let me just close this one, add this one. Yeah, now it changed. It's because I just changed my default shell. So yeah, I will go fix that. Actually, when I installed Juni, Juni has to use PowerShell, and it actually just it forced the default to be set to PowerShell instead of Git Bash, which I had just before, and that means now my Codex client doesn't work. It's actually quite nice of it to sabotage the competitors. That was a good idea, but Claude still works. It also works right here with PowerShell, and of course it's my setup, my local setup that makes it so Codex client doesn't work with PowerShell right now. But so far so good. That was the new stuff with Intellij. And the biggest things are, of course, support for Java 26. And of course, you need that because when you go to your projects, then you can choose your SDK right here, OpenJDK 26. If you haven't chosen it already, then you can say download JDK, and then now you can choose JDK 26. So you get that support right there. And then you can download it, and then you can also choose SDK level right here. You can also try some of the preview stuff like the primitive types and patterns. It's fourth preview. When it's released finally, then I will make another video on the primitive types and patterns. Thank you so much for all of your comments. They always make my day. It makes it much more fun to make this video. So please leave a comment below and have a great day, and thank you for being exactly who you are. Bye bye. See you soon. Bye.